Okay, I think we got it all going now. So
We need a Musa. Remember, Musa's always the one that's like, Emily, you're not recording.
yeah, I know, right? We do.
She's, by the way, she's one of my Breakfast Club members this week.
Oh, I just got the email, but I haven't looked at it yet.
Yeah.
So I thought the monk manual thing this morning was particularly beautiful.
Yeah, I thought it was really, really
Yeah,
nice.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think very apropos too.
Do you think it'd be all right if I read it? Should I read it? By the way,
Sure.
if maybe you should tell people what monk manual is, because you actually introduced me to it. It's a like a planner, right?
uh,
Isn't it a planner?
yeah, I mean, I think it's a like a system or whatever, but yeah, they make a planner, but I think they do a lot more stuff than that. But yeah, it's a daily like planning system, but kind of based on, the monk principles. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he was a monk. I think he just based his businesses on
I
it.
was trying to remember if he's the, I don't think he was a monk either, but I'm kind of, when you
There
asked
was a guy there was a book that we read, the guy that,
yeah, and that's why I was kind of blending the two in my
yeah.
mind. I was like, I don't think he was the guy that
No,
that
no, no.
wrote
I don't
them.
think he was.
What was that called?
Huh?
What was that called? What was the book
Well,
called?
he was a Buddhist monk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
What was the name of the book?
yeah.
Uh, hold on, I can go into because I always check the books out from the library. I'll go in, um, talk among yourselves, and I'll figure it out.
Well, anyway, yeah. I don't think he was. I don't think he was a monk, but it's kind of like following the principles.
Yeah, maybe maybe it was something that he. But anyway, so he sends out. We signed up for the. He sends out like a weekly thought for the day, well, thought for the week kind of thing. That as a way to, it's actually pretty nice. I
Yeah,
mean,
they're often pretty good, I think,
yeah,
and
yeah,
applicable. Yeah.
yeah. I thought, and I thought the one that he had this morning was. It always comes at. I always know 9 o'clock Monday morning. I get a text come in, and it's always it. And but anyway, today it says, "Have you ever given a great gift, and you could tell that the recipient didn't really appreciate it? It probably made you feel a little bad, somewhere on the spectrum between disappointed, sad, and angry. Often we are that recipient. Life brings us many gifts, with existence itself being the foundation. Yet we may struggle to feel gratitude. As we notice this reality, our own ingratitude for life or first reaction may be shame. But shame is its own form of ingratitude. It's ingratitude for ourselves. When we learn to accept and love not only the gift of our lives, but also the gift this is ourselves, we don't turn to pride and selfishness, we turn to deeper generosity. The natural response to a gift is wanting to share that gift with others. This week, then he assigns like a weekly task. Most people carry various forms of self-hatred. It may feel justified because of our own perceived failings, but it's not very useful. Consider in what ways might shame be coming up as a form of self-indulgence, and how redirecting this energy towards the service of others may fill your life with greater meaning. And the guy is Stephen L. I don't know. Stephen is the founder.
It's yeah, and it's kind of apropos or timely, because the book that I'm actually just rereading this week, because I'm catching up from last month for 6 a.m.ers, was Brene Brown's Gifts of Imperfection.
Right.
She's the shame researcher, and all of that stuff is based on the shame that we carry and stuff.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it was kind of timely because of that. But
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I've got my borrowing history up, and we'll see. I got a lot in here. Oh, one of the books we read was really fun, Green Lights with Matthew McConaughey.
That was a fun book.
That was a very fun book, but that's not the book we're talking about.
Particularly the audiobook.
Yeah, the audio book was
Because
really good.
Matthew McConaughey reads it, and he is so animated and has these like bursts that these kind of like burst out things in the audiobook that he doesn't have in the printed version. That's pretty funny. Yeah. These
Right,
outbursts, I should say. Yeah.
Mm, wow, I got a lot of books in here. Oh, here we go. It's Jay Shetty,
Yeah.
Setty, Think Like a Monk.
Think Like a Monk. Yeah.
Think Like a Monk. And
Yeah.
yeah, he's
And he actually was a monk for a time. Yeah. So he was like I think he was like an Oxford guy that he'd become like a monk for a period of time or something. Yeah.
mhm.
And then kind of back into the business world, but it was kind of like, but lives based on like principles he learned about, being a monk.
Mhm. Right. Yeah. Well, I think he's on the speaker circuit and
Mhm.
kind of in that whole self-development
Yeah. Yeah.
arena now. And
Which is what most of the books we
which
read
most
are.
of the ones that we read are. And
And this month we're doing a reread too as well. I think this
yeah,
whole year has been, well, I don't know about the whole year,
rereads. It's like, what the hell, man? It's like
yeah. But I was kind of glad because all of them I kind of wanted to reread anyway. But this month is Atomic Habits. Yeah.
I'm surprised. Did we ever read Full Fee Agent for 6 a.m.ers? I don't think we
I
did.
don't think for 6 a.m.ers, and I think part of it is because they tend, for 6 a.m.ers anyway, they're not really used, for the most part. I don't think they do coaching books as much as like you said, self-development stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think that's Full Fee Agent is more of a like real estate coaching sort of book. We did do Compound Effect, but again, I think that's still like life, like
Yeah, not so real estate specific.
yeah, right. It's not even real estate specific at all, but
Right.
more, I think it's still self-development, so I think yeah, I think that's probably why we haven't done Full Fee Agent, is
Right,
my
right, right,
opinion.
right. Well, I remember, I kind of wonder if this Gifts of Imperfection, I did the same thing, Wes. I just picked it up actually last night. Actually, the book came in while I to the library, because I put it on hold with the library, and it didn't come. It came in the week I was in England, and they didn't hold it for me. It literally came in the day before I left.
Oh, yeah.
And they only hold it for you for a week.
Mhm.
And I had asked them, I'd actually emailed and asked them if they'd hold it a couple of extra days for me. And they're like, well, if somebody else wants it, then we can't hold it. And sure enough, by the time I got back home, they had given it out again. so I had to put it back on hold, and I just got it over the weekend and started looking at it last night. But when I started reading it again, I'm like, oh, she has a really cool thing that she does about the indexing. Do you remember that? About how and this is for any book.
Actually, yeah. I just read that yesterday. But I was doing the audiobook in the car, but I was like, yeah, that's something I'll need to go back over. And I couldn't remember. Yeah,
I remembered that from
I
what
don't remember how she said she actually does it. Does she tag the book, or does she have like a notebook where she writes these things down? I wasn't really sure, but she has it in different sections.
Yeah, well, she has like different things that she does both. She puts little tags on the book, which I also do when I read a book. I have these tags in different colors. They're sticky.
You do that even with your library books?
No, not my library books, just the books that I own. Because what's the point of doing it on a library book?
Well, that's what I thought. I didn't know if you meant you went back before you returned the book. You went back and did something with
No. I just the books that I own. I do that.
You never do that with these books. You always do library books for all of these.
No, that's not true. Like 12-week year, they didn't have at the library, so I had to buy that one.
But that's pretty rare that you don't that you don't
Well,
do.
yeah, because look what's behind me, man. and that's just the
Well, I
beginning.
know, but I mean,
I mean,
I don't know why you,
here's my other bookshelf over there.
yeah, but I mean, I don't know why
And I have more books in the bedroom, and I have more books out in the
you
living
would,
room.
I'm saying you wouldn't have much of an opportunity to use this indexing system on any of these self-development books we're reading for 6 a.m.ers because you don't own them.
No, but you didn't let me finish. So she does two things. She puts the tags on, which I would not have the opportunity to do, but she has, probably like a little notebook or something like that, sheets of paper,
A journal or something.
like a journal or something. And at the top of each page, she'll write down things that she wants to implement, would be like one category. Things that she wants to research further, other books that she wants to read. She has like different categories that she
Some of them were kind of funny too. Yeah.
do you have them in
what
front
they
of you?
were. I'm trying to look them up.
But she got the idea. Let me go grab the book since we're talking about it. I'm going to go grab the book. I'm back. She actually got the idea from listening to a Tim Ferriss podcast.
Yeah, she actually does it in a journal because I'm looking at it online right
Okay.
now. Well, the only four that they list here, because I know she had more, but so it says 4 of my favorite indexing categories are quotes, definitions, beautiful language, do more research.
Yeah, beautiful words, definitions. One is I don't get it.
Yeah, that was one of she mentioned, but I don't see on here.
I want to work on this. Read more, quotes. Then she's got one that says so hard. Not sure quite what that means.
Oh, actually, she provides an integration index that you can download.
Oh, but here at the back of the book, she has it too.
Right.
So, and anyway, she got this concept listening to a Tim Ferriss podcast. He was interviewing Maria Popova.
Yeah, I remember that interview.
Oh, you listened to it, okay?
Yeah.
Well, she's a curator. Okay. She's a writer, poet, cultural critic, and the genius curator behind brainpickings.org. And apparently she has just a ton of references in her on her blog or whatever.
Yeah, and I think Brene also follows that, the brainpickings.org. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so she but I thought, you know what, it's such a great idea that you have, which, whether you check the book out from the library and return it, you could still keep your journal with your notes on it. And I thought, that's a really brilliant idea, because that's kind of what happens to me and you and I both, because we read so many of these books. It's a little bit like, no, I remember reading something about blah, 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 but where did I read that? And but which, while she does,
just like a while ago, which monk was this?
Right.
Which monk did we read about that?
Exactly. Right, exactly. So anyway, so she says, so on the page, she puts the page number, and then on the page itself, now this you would do if you had the book, she would highlight the passage and have a post-it note to mark the page. But it seems like she says, when you're done, you have new information and a blueprint of how to integrate it into your life. So I thought it was actually really quite brilliant. And I remember reading last summer. Of course, did I do anything about it? No, but maybe this summer I will.
I don't know why this reminds me of this, but probably just because this is the Monday morning. It's every other Monday morning that we meet our friend Chris over at Fairgrounds.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And he when he goes there to write. and then on, for that period that we're available, he kind of hangs in with us. But he has multiple journals in his laptop and stuff, and he's basically always, he's got different writings going on. He's kind of journaling. He's doing like memoirs where he's like going back and digging up and like writing about his like childhood and all that sort of stuff, kind of partly for his own good and partly because he wants to do something with it. He's also writing a television series that he's been working on for a long time. And, that's kind of his background.
One that he's been hired to write, or just something that he's hoping to get?
Just something he's hoping to do. And, that's kind of his background, and he was a TV producer, and he's worked with all of those directors, and he was friends with David Lynch and like all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of his thing, and he's technically retired, but this is what he's like doing now. But he follows TV and movies and music and everything, fanatically. But his daughter created these, it's really sweet. Like she created these stickers. She created like an indexing system for his daily stuff. And he prints them and sticks them onto a journal size page. And then that, because he doesn't have the journals printed for the indexing and the system that he does every day or whatever. So he actually, they just stick right onto the page of a regular size journal. And then that's like his outline for the day or for the week or for the month or whatever. And it's got like the movies, like TV shows, movies he's watched that he takes notes on. Once he puts on like lists of books, TVs, movies that he wants to check out. As we talk, he's about stuff we've seen or whatever. He's like writing notes in his little, journal. But it's like his own indexing system, but kind of for everything. But he would have areas in there to write about a book that he just read or any of that kind of stuff. It's pretty, and he writes in this teeny little writing, but
I don't really quite understand. So he has like a separate journal that's an index. Is that what you mean?
Well, I'm saying it's just a separate journal, but it's kind of has an indexing system that he sticks in it that his daughter created for him.
Okay.
But it's kind of what we're talking about for like how she does with the book, but for kind of all of his stuff. That's more about books, TVs, movies, music, all of that kind of stuff. And he kind of keeps track of what he's seen, listening to, watching, and then what he wants to see, listen to, watch, notes about, like he'll even take notes about stuff we talked about, just in our hanging out with him in the coffee shop that morning. He'll pull it out and, make a note about something. But it's just fascinating to me. I love the idea. I don't have the discipline or the know-how really for that, but I really am fascinated by that idea.
I know, right? I mean, it's I don't have my brain doesn't work like that, but I think Bob would be able to do. I mean, Bob,
yeah, probably.
It takes an engineer kind of brain, I think, to do that, right?
Yeah.
And of course, that's what Brene Brown. She is a researcher.
She's a researcher. That's what I was going to say earlier. So that's, she probably is accustomed to this before books, even like, because that's how she has to, keep track of the research she's doing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you'd have to have some kind of a system, right? So
to condense all of that data into something, that you can digest. Yeah.
So my insurance guy was over last week and got me some new life insurance because I had an old term policy that had expired and I needed to replace it. So he was over to deliver that last week. And I've known George probably 20, I mean, I'm changing subjects now. I should mention I'm changing subjects. I
was like, what did he index?
Yeah, I know, right?
Is he journaling?
Well, I just kind of wanted to bring it up because we got to talking and he does life insurance and he does a lot of like retirement plans and whatnot for folks. And I thought it might be really fun to have him come on and I don't know, fun is the right word, but that might be valuable to have him come on. He listens to us regularly, by the way. He's one of our regular listeners.
Hi.
Hey, George. So I just need to get with him and find a time when we can get him
So
on. But
you are about to tell us something that he's okay with, right? You're not about to say something that he's be like, don't say that.
yeah, I know. Open mouth, insert foot, right? I'm famous for it.
That's why we created this.
Because you have so much you can laugh at me.
Give you a platform for it.
There you go. No, anyway, so I thought we would get him on and talk a little bit about some retirement stuff and how you can use some of these instruments to even purchase real estate, actually.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought it might be worthwhile if you agree, if you think that would be a good thing.
Oh, I think so. That sounds really good. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And I've known George probably close to 20 years, I think. He and I used to be members of a LaTip chapter, which is like a BNI
Networking group. Mhm.
a networking group, and that's how we've known. And he's done a really good job of staying connected with people from the initial group. When we formed the chapter, was just a really great group of folks, but then that chapter actually has since disbanded for quite some time now. It's been gone probably 10 years, but it was a good group of folks, and it really was valuable for us, I think. But anyway, whatever. So that's my thought for the day, and I think we'll try and get George on. George Schwabe is his name, and he's been around the block a couple of times like you and I have, so I think he'll be a good resource.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm up for that. Sounds
Anything
like
else?
a good
Anything
share.
else we want to talk about?
I think we're about out of time, so
Okay.
we can keep talking all day. We'll talk
No,
offline.
it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful to have warm weather, although I think the farmers desperately need rain. But
Yeah, I noticed it's been beautiful, but I noticed when we were driving around this weekend, like all of the grassy areas around the highways and different places I was were completely brown already. I was like,
yeah.
that's when I realized, yeah, I guess we barely had any
I
rainfall.
know we're such city people. We're just like, we don't even pay attention. Right? We just want it to be
Everywhere I look around here, it looks green, but then when I get out and see the big patches of grass that aren't,
watered,
don't have sprinklers or whatever, yeah, oh yeah, we're lacking water. So yeah.
And I think water levels are down
Oh yeah.
too. So we desperately need rain, but man,
The sun and temperature has been beautiful. Yeah.
It's been, we've been loving it. Us city folk, we love it. All right, everybody, have a good week, and we'll catch up with you next.
All right. Bye.